Hello all, welcome to Children's Time. I'm Rob and you're not, and you're probably happy you're not. I'm talking to you today from a very special spot, but before I get to that, I just want to ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now, I know a lot of people watch these videos and there's all kinds of ages involved, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm not done growing yet, but I've been fortunate enough to have had a lot of stops. When I was young, I used to have a list of about 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 things I thought I wanted to do. They range from professional ball player to astronaut to teacher to you name it. I had a lot of wants. And I just wonder what you want to be when you grow up or when you get to a point where you want to call yourself a careerist. Tough decision. But that being said, this is a very busy time in our church calendar. We're just past Easter. A lot of things are going on right now, and some tremendous readings you'll be hearing tomorrow in church, one of which deals with the disciples of Christ following Jesus' death. And they were brought to the elders, the Jewish scholars, and they were sort of chewed out because they were teaching the works of Christ. And the reading tomorrow deals a lot with how St. Peter responded to being chastised along those lines. And, being a teacher is not easy. Sometimes you're dealing with tough situations. Sometimes it's a message that you have to get your arms around. And sometimes people are not wanting to hear it. So my hat's off to one of the most noble professions I can think of in the world. That is teaching, not only from the early days of Christianity with our disciples, but even today. And we've had a lot of great teachers in our American history along the way. And one of which comes to mind, and actually I'm sitting at a place where it's not far from the home of the person I'm going to talk about. See if you can guess who I'm talking about. But way back a long time ago, 1911, this person had a summer home here. It's being that it's April, it's sort of timely because he was actually born way back in 56 in Virginia. And he was born to slavery. And he was freed by the Emancipation Proclamation. This is not a history lesson or test, but I just want to express to you the difficulty this person went through just surviving, let alone becoming free, staying with his mom, and then ultimately getting an education at one of the most famous institutes on the American landscape, and that's the Tuskegee Institute. But this person really had a tough road, and we talked about making a list of the things you want to do when you grow up. This person really hit almost everything on anybody's list. Patriot, educator, politician, business person. He did a lot of things. And he's probably left his mark very largely and boldly, again, in American history as one of the greats in our nation's past. Not only for his stance when it comes to human rights, but also because of the mark he left in the education world. So tomorrow's readings is very powerful because of how it relates to Easter and the Word of God, but also it primed me to think about teachers and the importance they play in all of our lives. So I'm not sure where your career is going to take you, but if the likes of Booker T. Washington don't get you excited about doing something unique and different, then I don't know what will excite you. But I'm going to just kind of cruise over here to a landmark sign that is all about this particular spot near really close to Northport. I'll see. I don't know if it's going to relay well with video, but right up there, this is the spot. About 50 yards behind me, behind the sign, is where Booker T. Washington and his family resided during the summertime. Back in those days, if you were from down south, you wanted to summer places that were not down south if you could. And he came up here, I guess, to escape the oppressive heat of Alabama. But anyway, that's our story time for today. Hopefully, you'll appreciate your teachers more when you go back to school. Maybe if you're college bound in the near future, perhaps teaching's on your list of things you want to do. And maybe not immediately, but like I found, teaching is particularly noble and very rewarding, even if you do it later on in life. So options are yours. You can be anything you want. Thanks to the likes of Booker T. Washington, making freedom of choice possible. A true patriot. Thanks all. Love you. See you in church. Have a great week. Bye-bye.